Alright, how we doing? Here for week number 1 of the GWA Pokemon Draft League. Our opponent this week is going to be Steve SBU. Thought I'd just give you a quick little team recap there. Not my usual thing, but sure, if you enjoy it, I suppose I'll keep doing it. Yeah, didn't do any team recap or any of that crap, but I'll give you a quick little rundown of myself and Steve's team there. So my team consists of Spectrier, Tinglu, Enamorous Incarnate, Ogerpon Cornerstone, first Terra Captain Vikavolt with Terra Electric Steel Ghost, Tentacruel, Terra Gallade with Terra Fighting Dark and Psychic, Moltres, Registeel, Gogoat, and Porygon Z. While Steve's team consists of Gouging Fire, Zapdos, Sneasler, Manaphy, Galarian Weezing, Espeon with Terra Fairy, Fighting, and Electric, Bisharp with Terra Dark, Fire, and Flying, Sinistcha, Mudsdale, Kleavor, and Wigglytuff with Terra Water, Steel, and Ghost. So yeah, to kind of give you the breakdown of the matchup this week. The interesting thing about Steve's team is that I feel like my offensive matchup into him is very good. He doesn't have many reliable fairy or psychic switch-ins. Pretty much the bulk of his psychic switch-ins consists of his two Terra Captains, Espeon and Bisharp, which is why I could realistically see both of them coming this week. Also, Bisharp is a decent Spectre response, especially if it's like a Lumberry or something. But also, the kind of annoying thing about his team is that, like, whereas a lot of my offense is like very frail, a lot of his offense is very bulky and sustainable. So pretty much my game plan this week is going to be hit him hard and try to wear down his bulk as fast as possible to get in range of my cleaners. So that's why we have a lot of different mons that can kind of break for each other this week. But yeah, pretty much kind of what I'm expecting from this week is some kind of combination of Gouging Fire, Zapdos, Sneasler, Manaphy, Espeon, Bisharp. I could definitely see Kleavor making an appearance, because I think Kleavor is very good offensively into my team. I even think it's a very good just like Focus Sash lead, or a good Scarfer. Although I do foresee him bringing like a Scarf Sneasler or something, just because he has nothing on his team that naturally outspeeds Spectrier. So I could definitely see like a Scarf Throat Chop Sneasler coming. But yeah, let's get into my team, I suppose. So kicking it off, we have my first round pick, Kageoni the Spectrier. Moveset consisting of Shadow Ball, Draining Kiss, Nasty Plot, Will-O-Wisp. Pretty bog standard this week. Like I said, his only real Ghost switch-in is Bisharp. He does have Wigglytuff, but I'm not respecting Wigglytuff. If he brings Wigglytuff, then more power to you, man. Brings Wigglytuff, then more power to you. That's just that's pretty exploitable. But yeah, pretty much Spectre does have the ability to snowball pretty quickly if he doesn't bring Bisharp, or if he doesn't bring Scarf Sneasler, which is why I do have my Choplaberry as an equip item. To be able to take a knockoff, Sucker Punch, or Throat Chop from Sneasler. Sorry, knockoff or Sucker Punch from Bisharp and Throat Chop from Sneasler. It's pretty much the purpose of that. If he wants to be fancy, I guess a Scarf Night Slash from Kleavor. I don't foresee that happening though. Not speed, outspeed Sneasler, and the rest in defense because it kind of lets me live a Gouging Fire hit a bit easier. Yeah, I don't really see Spectre being the win con this week because I honestly I don't foresee him. I always foresee him bringing Bisharp in this game. So yeah. Moving right along, we have Boa, my Enamorous. Kind of the same story here. His fairy switch-ins are not good. His only fairy switch-in is Galarian Weezing, which is very easy to chip down, and also doesn't have the greatest special defense. Plus, all it takes is one prediction with Psychic, or a power depending on which ability he is. I do honestly see Levitate coming in this game. He could bring Nuke Gas, but like Nuke Gas isn't amazing into my team. At least if he brings Levitate, then it kind of forces me to predict it with Psychic. I can't just click Earth Power on like a Gouging Fire or Bisharp or anything like that. So that's kind of my thought process if Weezing does come. Again, I don't think Weezing will come because it's not great into Spectre. It's kind of nice into Enam and Ogerpon, but even then it's not like a reliable response, and it just like, loses to the likes of Vikavolt and Gallade. So yeah, pretty much a Choice Scarf just in case I can. So I can revenge like a Sneasler. Also lets me outspeed +1 Gouging Fire, which is kind of the main thing. The only thing that kind of concerns me about this is that it kind of can be tough to revenge a Calm Mind Espeon. But if he brings Espeon, then I expect it to be Terra Fighting just because it hits both Tinglu and Registeel. So that'll obviously make it a bit easier to revenge. Moveset consisting of Moonblast, Earth Power, Psychic, and Healing Wish. Pretty much all the coverage I need. And Healing Wish just in case I want to get something else second life. Because there are a lot of other team members that do well into his team besides Enamorus. I can definitely see Enamorus being a good late game cleaner just because Moonblast is so spammable against his team. Next up, Yamato, my Ogerpon Cornerstone. This thing is very good into his team as well. Again, like a lot of defensive pressure is on Bisharp because his rock resists are Mudsdale and Bisharp. So like I said, that's why I really expect Bisharp to come in this game. It's good for Spectre, it's good for Ogerpon. It's just really good generally into my team. But yeah, pretty much this. If I see no Cleavor, then this is probably going to be my lead. It might even be my lead if I see Cleavor. I'm a bit hesitant on that between this and another mon for my lead. But if I don't see Cleavor, then this will more than likely be my lead. Like I said, Rock is just severely spammable against this team. Moveset consisting of Ivy Cudgel, Trailblaze, Stomping Tantrum, and Spikes. I don't foresee myself clicking Spikes too often, especially with an Espeon around. But again, I don't think he'll be too eager to switch in Espeon on Adamant Ivy Cudgel. We're Adamant in this game just because I'm not expecting like a max speed Manaphy or max speed Zapdos, so we're EV to outspeed, max speed Gouging Fire. Because again, I really could see Manaphy coming with like a more defensive take heart set. Just because if I don't have Whirlwind on Tinglu, it sets up on me pretty easily. It can even set up on the likes of Enamorus, to be honest. And if it's full Fizz Death, then Gallade kind of has a hard time revenging it as well. Moving right along, we got Tinglu. Bossing Same Tinglu is just running leftovers this week. Pretty simple. This thing is mostly here to pivot into the likes of Zapdos, Gouging Fire. 1 or 2 times into Espeon, maybe. It pivots very well into Bisharp as well. I really like. Again, if Espeon comes, it's definitely going to be Terra Fighting. I don't think it'll be a choice item. I don't think choice Terra Fighting is good into me. I expect just Calm Mind Terra Fighting. Maybe with a bit of defense, but I don't know. It really depends if he wants to risk the speed tie with Ogerpon Cornerstone. I don't think he can really afford that much bulk on a Calm Mind Espeon is the thing in this game. Yeah, this thing is mostly here as just box standard Tinglu defensive pivot. Moveset consisting of Earthquake, Ruination, Stealth Rock, and Whirlwind. My mixed defensive, my defense investment lets me live 2+2 Gouging Fire Flare Blitz. And the rest put into Speed Death just to take a little bit of extra hits from Zapdos and, again, potentially Espeon. But I'm not really expecting it. Like I said, this is probably my initial Espeon pivot, but then after that, it's really just like I kind of have to kill this thing. I was a bit hesitant on putting on Whirlwind. I was debating putting on something like Stone Edge because they'll kind of let me pressure Zapdos a little bit more. But I think Ruination into an Earthquake on the potential Roost is absolutely fine. And like I do like Whirlwind because it's able to phase out the likes of Manaphy and a potential Terra Flying Bisharp. I don't see Terra Flying Bisharp coming, but it could be SD Terra Flying set up on Tinglu. Especially since if I hit it with a Ruination, it'll get Justified boost. So if I do see Bisharp in front of me, then I'm probably just Whirlwinding or getting my rocks depending on what the game state is. Yeah, pretty much the main reason why I was considering swapping out Whirlwind is because it doesn't work on Espeon, which is a little bit annoying, obviously because of Magic Bounce. But against Espeon, I can let me get a slow pivot out, which is also very interesting. Yeah. Next up, we have Askin with Tentacruel. Black Sludge, again, very standard. I was debating swapping into Covert Cloak. Very professional. I was debating swapping into Covert Cloak just because I don't want to get put to sleep by the Sneasler. This one's kind of my main Sneasler and potentially Cleavor pivot. More so just because I think U-turn is very spammable against my team, but also so is Rocks. So, you know. But yeah, like I said, this is kind of my main Sneasler pivot. Moveset consisting of Rapid Spin, Surf, Sludge Bomb, and Acid Spray. Acid Spray is mostly there just because it kind of lets me threaten a DD Gouging Fire a bit easier. It lets me also potentially beat Take Heart Manaphy depending on what set he is. Because if he's something like say Take Heart Rest, Water Move, Ice Move, then this Tentacle just beats it, which I could potentially see. I definitely think it's the most likely. I think just Rest, Take Heart, Water Move plus Psychic is definitely the better set, but if he's not rocking it, then it's fine. Also, we can take Manaphy hits pretty well, even though we are Fizz Def to take on Sneasler. Yeah, that's pretty much that. Pretty bog standard Tentacruel, to be honest. Kind of the only interesting thing here is really Acid Spray, but yeah. Next, we're on to my Terra Captain that I'm running this week. Zoro, my Gallade, with a Twisted Spoon, with a moveset consisting of Sacred Sword, Psycho Cut, Agility, and Psychic Terrain. No, it looks a little bit wacky, but pretty much thought process behind this one is I need Twisted Spoon as my item to 2-hit KO with his Dev Zapdos with Terra Psychic Psycho Cut, because Zapdos is just really bulky. I did consider bringing Terra Fighting for a bit, just because it lets me resist Bisharp's Sucker Punch. But overall, if I brought Terra Fighting, then I'd pretty much be forced into Protective Pads to not get static by Zapdos. But I think with this set, it's a lot easier to just kind of get in and spam Psycho Cut and wear down his walls. Because like I said, he doesn't really have a lot of conventional walls, but like a lot of his offense is extremely bulky. So yeah, pretty much we have enough speed to outspeed a Scarf Sneasler after an Agility, which is really good. Because like I said, I am expecting Scarf Sneasler this game. We're only running enough speed to outspeed Scarf Sneasler that is speed creeping Ogerpon Cornerstone. Because he really doesn't need to invest any more speed besides that. Psychic Terrain is the little tech I have for Bisharp. I went around on a few different things between on stopping Sucker Punch, between Disable, Will-O-Wisp. I debated Vacuum Wave for a little bit. I debated Upper Hand. I ended up landing on Psychic Terrain just because it seemed like the one that lost me the least in the situation. Because if I disable and he stays in to knock me off, then I just get nothing out of the turn. If I click Will-O-Wisp and he's Lumberry, then I get nothing out of the turn. If he knocks off, if he Sucker Punches, then at least burn the Lumberry, which is nice. But pretty much the thought process behind Psychic Terrain is that I can Psychic Terrain on his first Sucker Punch, and then obviously he can't Sucker Punch me for the second time. Yeah, like I said, if Bisharp is his Terra Captain, then I do expect it to be Terra Flying, just because it can kind of take on Tinglu, it can kind of take on fighting moves from Gallade. Pretty simple. I could definitely see Gallade winning in the endgame, but again, it's a lot easier if Bisharp isn't there, which again is why I'm expecting Bisharp to come. If Bisharp doesn't come, I'll be very happy. But yeah, that's pretty much our team for the first week, and I suppose we'll see you in the battle now. Alright, here we go. Starting off back on Wi-Fi, GWA week number 1 against Steve. Well, we see a very interesting team. He did bring Wigglytuff, no Espeon. No Manaphy, no Sneasler is actually really interesting. You did bring Cleavor, which is kind of what I was expecting anyway. You did bring Sinistcha. Sinistcha was actually like in the bottom of my list of things that I actually expected. Okay. What I do think I want to do is Cleavor is the likely lead. My original game plan was to lead Tentacruel, because if it's not Scarf, then I just two-shot it and punish it for setting up rocks, which I think I can definitely afford to do now because I see no Sneasler, and like Tentacruel is mostly good for Sneasler. It's very good for Sinistcha as well. I'm very tempted to leave off Cornerstone just because it's good into basically everything. Lead Cornerstone is pretty likely to U-turn. I think I'll just lead Tentacruel, like my original game plan was. I might be cursing myself for switching from Citrus Berry to Black Sludge. I'm really surprised by no Manaphy. I thought like Fizdef Manaphy with Take-Heart was really good into me. Chopped, does he have a Cleavor? So we'll get to find out if Cleavor is Scarfed. Either way, to be honest, I actually think Spin is a fine play. No, I'm just firing off a Surf, honestly. He does a U-turn. Okay, so it is Scarf Cleavor, good to know. So my Scarf ENM will outspeed that thing. And he doesn't get a Rocks immediately. I kind of wish I went for Acid Spray. But that's fine. Tentacruel. Because I'm running enough speed to outspeed Jolly Max Speed Cleavor. So, yeah, I do wish I kind of kept Flip Turn on this set. I was originally Flip Turn over Surf. But I wanted Surf to be able to pressure a Sash Cleavor lead. Well, this is fine. Let's go Gamba. Zapdos. Okay. That did about 20-ish%, I'd say. No lefties, so it's probably Boots. That seems pretty low. That looks like actually Spadef Zapdos. That looks like pretty Spadef Zapdos. I don't really see a... honestly, I just see a Hurricane coming out here, or a U-turn. I can definitely see U-turn coming out. I do value having this thing around for Cleavor, because otherwise Scarf U-turn gets very spammable into my team. Do I make the obvious Tinglu pivot? I could go use a mid-ground, but I don't like getting my Sturdy broken. I'll just go to safe Tinglu for now. Let's go for the safe Tinglu for now. I wouldn't mind getting more damage on the Zapdos, but I think that's fine. So it does look like Spadef Zapdos anyway. It does a U-turn. That's fine. So we know it has a U-turn now. What can you do here? If he goes out to Sinistcha, which is probably the switch, chopped, because I got to Cleavor. Okay. That's fair enough. He might just U-turn again here. I think I do kind of value just getting on my rocks. This thing's extremely good for gouging. But it's kind of only good for like gouging and... Let's see, Cleavor. U-turn just 37 max. I think I'm fine just staying in and getting on my rocks here. Okay, U-turn comes out. Manageable. That did do a bit more than I expected. He might be Adamant Scarf, actually. Although surely he's not Adamant Scarf. Because you'd want to outspeed Scarf Gallade. Okay, okay. Let's go Gamba, back out to Zapdos. That's fine, I think. Let's do get up rocks. Honestly, I might just Ruination whatever comes in. Because I don't really see the Zapdos staying in. And even if it does, I can pressure to use up some Roost. And like I said, I'm going to switch into Zapdos the best. He's wearing down my Tinglu, but I think this is fine. Because again, Tinglu was really only around for gouging in this situation. And while gouging is threatening, when I have rocks up, it's less threatening, and he has no removal. And I'll get to find out if it's boots straight away. I could also Whirlwind, but Whirlwind could bring in something like Sinistcha. I think we'll just stay in a Ruination. Does just U-turn again? That's fine. Tinglu's just a little bit over half, which is fine. I do live a +2 gouging fire hit from half, which is good. Assuming it's Jolly. Green Lean, Sinistcha. Okay. No boots. Good to know. We do land our Ruination. Very good. So we get some nice chip off of Sinistcha. We don't see lefties. Okay. It's probably... I can't think of the name of the Ghost Resist Berry. Cassie Berry, I think. Probably Cassie Berry for Spectrier. Let's see. He probably Strength Saps here. I think Strength Saps here, so I'm just going to go hard on Tentacruel. Go hard out Tentacruel here, that'll actually damage him instead of healing him, I believe. Gotcha. It's fine, please no burn. That did a lot of damage, oh my god. Is that Specs? Is that thing Specs? Hold on. Tentacruel. This thing could just be Specs, honestly. I'm probably just staying in and firing off a Sludge Bomb, I think. We get a chance for a Poison on Zapdos. Cleavor is really the only thing that comes in on it easily, except for like Bisharp. When a Bisharp comes in, I'm fine with that. See how the Sludge Bomb here. Nice. Alright, so Sinistcha down. Which is good. Get up above half. He probably just goes back up to Zapdos again. Baby Gambit. Bisharp, no boots, good. Nah, what do I want to do here? Am I okay with letting Tentacle get knocked off? Or do I go straight to Tinglu and Whirlwind this thing? Because he's probably going to attempt to set up an SD. I could get damage on this thing, but it's probably Eviolite, so the damage is probably negligible. Tinglu is a little less valuable with Espeon around. Zapdos becomes a little bit tough, but not unmanageable. I wouldn't mind getting chip off on this thing. Yeah, I'll just go with the Tinglu here. I probably get knocked off, but I think that's fine, especially with the team that he brought. he goes for an SD, then I can Whirlwind it out. SD. Because he's definitely going to Terra Flying here. So as long as he doesn't flinch me, we're fine. I could Ruination, but I'll give him a Justified boost, and I really don't want that. Here's a Terra Flying, I assume. It's Terra Flying. Yeah. Makes sense. So as long as he doesn't flinch me here, then we're fine. Sets up another SD, thank God. That is actually amazing for me. That is actually amazing for me. This Bisharp will now take 25 when it comes in, and it's no longer a Dark type. So that frees up Spectrier hugely. And we get Gouging in. Boots? No boots. Great. And this is pretty much the ideal mon that I want in. It's lefties. Okay, interesting. Interesting. That SD was actually great for me. He was definitely hoping that I'd EQ, but I thought the Terra Flying was just definitely coming out, so... let's see. It's lefties, so I know it's not weakness policy. I could Ruination into EQ, because EQ doesn't kill anyway. Just in case Zapdos or Bisharp want to come in. I do risk a Ruination miss. I think I will Ruination here. The Dragon Dances. That's fine. As long as we land this. Okay, well, that's great. That's great. I mean, it's fine. I should have EQ'd. But it's whatever. Okay, we'll just EQ here. I want my damage. If he Dragon Dances again, I live a +2 hit easily. Flare Blitz. We do take 2 from the looks of it. Would have liked to have gotten that Ruination off, because then I would have killed, but it's fine. My fault for going for an inaccurate move, I guess. This does make Bisharp a little more scary, but since it's a flying type, it can come in on most of my team now. So I think I'm honestly fine with sacking Tinglu for this. It's not even really a sack, like Tinglu will live. But we're going 1 for 1. Like, Gouging is kind of his main offensive piece that I'm worried about at the moment, so I'm absolutely fine with trading Tinglu for this. And like I said, another Bisharp is a flying type, it'll take full damage for rocks. So Bisharp will be taking 31 when it comes back in. Or I can swipe. Does he live? I don't think so. He does. Okay. I mean, he'll get to kill me now if he Flare Blitzes, so it'll be a double down. But I think I'm honestly fine with that. Is there anything else I'd rather sack on a Flare Blitz? I don't think so. I'd like to keep Tentacool around, especially again now that Bisharp is a flying type. Yeah, I think I'm just fine with just staying in. Maybe I should have Whirlwinded, just in case. Let's Ring Swipe again. Okay, so this thing lives. -2 attack, so what is he trying to set up for in the back? Since it's just gone, this thing's gone. Zapdos couldn't be set up. He's already setting up for Bisharp. He knows I'll Whirlwind that thing. Is it like Common Wigglytuff or some shit? I'm very interested to see why he break and swipe there. I mean, again, it doesn't really make much of a difference. I'm around the same health that I would have been if he had Flare Blitzed anyway. But... and I know Cleavor is an SD because I know it's Scarf. Chopped. Okay, I'll take the chip on this thing. I was getting a range of Enam's Moonblast, which is amazing. Yeah, I think we're just fine with just sacking this. If he tries to get greedy and Stone Axes, I'll live that. Do I want to Whirlwind him or do I want to Ruination? If I Ruination, get about 30% off. I'll fire out Ruination just in case. Yeah, your turn. Makes sense. Well done, Tinglu. You did your job perfectly. Took care of gouging and got up rocks and whirlwinded out the Bisharp. So that Cleavor is going to be at 51 when it comes back in. So it's absolutely a Moonblast range. Let's go down to Zapdos. Boots. Okay. Honestly, this is just Ogerpon. He has no switch into Ogerpon. And we just Ivy Cudgel. I don't think Wigglytuff takes 2 and everything else just dies. Now the Bisharp is tired. And then he's going to be forcing the Cleavor to revenge me. Well, the Cleavor doesn't even really revenge, it just brings me down to sturdy. So what's coming out here? Wigglytuff? Spec check. That's actually really funny. Might be a spec check, but it's not an Ogerpon check. Yeah, we'll just cut it again. Okay. Ogerpon kills Wigglytuff. It actually looks really sick when it's floating, to be honest. So yeah, then Cleavor has to come back out. In all honesty, like, do I want to... I don't know. I'm debating if I even want to stay in and just claim another KO. Because he's either forced to U-turn, or if he wants to be greedy and Stone Axe. But if I get rid of Bisharp, honestly I'm thinking I'm fine with just staying in. Staying in, he'll bring me down to my sturdy. If he Stone Axes, then I won't be brought down to sturdy. He's probably just U-turning. Which honestly I'm completely fine with. If he's like Zapdos, then this is a very easy Enam endgame. So yeah, I think I'm fine with just cudgeling. He's Stone Axes. Okay, so this thing is dead. Beautiful. And yeah, okay. Okay with that. Rocks are up, but we don't have to worry about Bisharp. And even though it's going to come in a Sucker Punch, I am never risking that. I'm just always going to stay in and cudgel here. Zapdos becomes a little bit more annoying, but it's still very manageable. Like, Gallade just 2 shots that thing. Gallade 2 shots and then Enam cleans. So yeah, I think I'm fine with just staying in and cudgeling here. Honestly, his play is probably just like to SD because it's in the back. So yeah, I'm fine with just staying in and cudgeling here. Definitely the safe play, because if he SDs, then it's a little bit more annoying for me. Enam still revenges, so it's fine, but it does become a little bit more annoying. Even though Zapdos becomes a little bit more annoying with this thing gone. Sucker Punch. Dead. That's fine. Let's see. Don't have any damage on this thing yet. This is a kind of annoying thing. Namorous. I want to actually make sure that Enam kills like an Eviolite Bisharp. Offensive Eviolite, we actually don't kill. Wow. Might have been a bit of a miscalculation on my part. Honestly, I think just Spec Shadow Ball. Yeah, I think Spec Shadow Ball is fine. Because I just need damage on this thing for Enam. Left drop doesn't really matter. Actually, no, it does matter. It actually does matter. That's funny. And pretty annoying, but it's fine. It just means it's going to be a 2-0 win, which is fine, I guess. Into Enam, just fire off a Moonblast. He'll still come on for his chip, which is fine. Is that a crit? No, never mind. Yeah, so the Spadef drop is pretty fucking annoying, but it's fine. There should still be no way the Zapdos wins this. Because my Glade 2 shots because that's Zapdos. So yeah, we'll just Moonblast there. D-Wave. Alright, so we're playing this game now. We're playing this game now. So he's T-Wave, U-Turn, Roost. Does he not have an electric move? Is he just Mono Hurricane? That was Moonblast anyway. Roost. Roost. I mean, I'm fine with this. Like, Glade 2 shots me Zapdos anyway, and he never one-shots me. Oh, God. More so just annoying than anything, because now I'm going to have to play this game on Glade as well. He's roosting again. God, Steve, you're getting so greedy. You're getting so greedy. That's 4. No crit, no special attack drop though. That's 5. There's a special attack drop anyway. There's 6. One power out of 6 is pretty good odds. There's 7. Oh, Lord help us. 1. And last roost. Okay, do we break through this time? Or was all the roosting worth it for him? You break through? Nice. So Zapdos is at 15, Glade can pick it off. T-Bolt. It is T-Bolt last. Okay, makes sense. Good job, Enam. And then we can just go out to Glade to finish it off. Click Terra Psychic and Psycho Cut. Alright, so Ogerpon ended up carrying the game a lot more than I thought it would, and so did Tinglu. What a pairing. So unless anything goes astray here, this should kill. It does kill. Beautiful. Okay. So GG to Steve. Nice 2-0 win to start off the season. Very good game, man. Like I said, the Scarf Cleaver was actually putting me under a lot of pressure, so I was actually glad to get rid of that thing. But yeah. Guess we'll see you in week 2 now. Look.